Hey guys, what's up? Wanted to come on here give you my thoughts. There will be no footage or anything, no sound or whatever, of the second trailer of Space Jam: A New Legacy, the sequel to the ever popular 1996 movie Space Jam: The Original, which came out 25 years ago this year. And I can tell you right now that this trailer it gives a little bit more detail from a plot standpoint as to what's going to be happening. We do get to hear Lola Bunny, in the movie for the first time. I mean, they did that 30 for 30 parody in a conjunction with ESPN, that being Warner Bros. And HBO Max, to help promote the movie, to kind of give it a legitimate, real feel, or whatever you want to call it. So we heard her there, but some people were complaining that the lip syncing was kind of off, and obviously they addressed that, they fixed that, especially for this movie, for this trailer. And the girl that's voicing her, Zadava, I think, I can't pronounce her name right, I do apologize. She does a great job. There's a scene where she tells LeBron that she promises that they are going to get his son back. And one thing that 3C Films, who just did and uploaded a video, a reaction, breakdown, if you will. One thing they did say is that when that scene came up, when she told LeBron, "Hey, I promise you, we're going to get you your son back," that even though it's a different voice actress, even though it's Davia, I think. Again, I can't pronounce the name right. I do apologize. It definitely sounds like Lola. Like, that is Lola. No matter it's like no matter whether it's Katsushi or Zadavia or whoever, or even what is it, Kristen Wiig. This is Lola. That one scene where she promises LeBron, "We're gonna get you your son back." That is Lola. They have another scene of her trying to motivate the Toon Squad in the locker room during halftime. Definitely, again, you hear her speaking. That definitely sounds like Lola. My thought is they probably told Zadavia that you need to. Oh, they didn't just tell her. I think what they also did is they showed her clips of what Lola sounded like in the original movie, as well as what she sounded like in some recent incarnations, and said, "Give us a blend of that if you could," and that's what she's done. And I think she's going to do a good job as Lola Bunny. But yeah, we get to hear her again and motivate the Toon Squad in the locker room. So that was really cool to see. She basically tells them that the Looney Tunes, the Toon Squad doesn't give up. Bugs says, "You know what? If we're going to go out, we're going to go out loony." And the reason he says that is we find out, again, this trailer is more story-based, related. Basically, we find out that if LeBron and the Toon Squad don't win, that basically not only will LeBron lose his son and potentially his entire family, but the Looney Tunes themselves will be deleted. They will be erased from existence, and that really, in a sense, puts more emphasis of how important this game is for the Tunes themselves. Not just to help LeBron get his son back, but to also save the very existence. So yeah, that's basically the element. So basically, those are the main story elements we get here. We do get more of his interaction with his wife and everything. So in the movie, that being LeBron's wife, so that's kind of cool. And we kind of see like there's a barrier. I mean, we kind of knew. I think we noticed it originally. We noticed it originally in the first trailer, but there is a barrier that's keeping out like the audience, from interacting. Mostly, I think the Warner Brother, characters, like the real people. It's like keeping them away from the court and interacting. Now, we do find out more about why LeBron is trying to fight for his son and everything, or play a game to save his son. It's mainly the fact that, of course, as we find out, there's some kind of disconnect between the two. Like, LeBron doesn't understand what his son wants to be, and LeBron wants his son to follow in his footsteps. Well, we find out that basically this AI, played by Don Cheadle, not only captures his son because he sees potential in his son because of his smartness, his IQ, if you will. And as 3C, I think, hinted at a potential way of getting out of the server, that being the Don Cheadle character, and into the real world. Basically, we find out that his son is being held prisoner. That one scene or image we saw of his son in a Goon Squad t-shirt, obviously that's how it starts off. But if there's one thing some people may complain about this, about this second trailer, or even criticize about it, is it gives away the fact that, as predicted, LeBron's son is going to switch over to the Toon Squad. We see this not once, but we see it twice in the trailer. So that's pretty much a dead giveaway, and I think we all pretty much knew that something like that was going to happen anyway. And then we also see, according to 3C Films, we see in the background of one of those scenes in the trailer, Don Cheadle, growing big. Like, he's got this massive, monstrous body. That body's obviously going to be CGI, but it looks like Don Cheadle is going to insert himself into the game to try to make sure that him and his Goon Squad win that game and get what he wants in the long term, if you know what I mean. Basically he's doing what, I think a lot of people felt that Swackhammer should have done in the first film. I mean, when Swackhammer agrees with Jordan on that one last, stipulation, that new deal that they made, I along with a lot of people thought, when he shook his hand, that he was going to do right there what the basketball, or what the numbnucks had done to the NBA players, and that's get their talent. My thought was he was going to, do that to Jordan, and thus put the game in his favor, stack the deck more in his favor, if you will. But that didn't happen. But, a lot of us pretty much felt that could happen. So I think what's going on here is the people behind the movie are basically making up for that by saying Swackhammer didn't get involved, but we're going to have the guy, Don Cheadle here, we're going to have him get involved instead. And, what's funny about this is at the beginning of the trailer, when he says he wants to challenge LeBron to a basketball game to save his son, LeBron just looks at him like, "You want to challenge me? Are you joking? You want to challenge me?" Not realizing, this being LeBron, that there's going to be more on the line than usual. So, yeah, we get a lot more aspects, what I'm trying to say is we get a lot more aspects, a lot more imagery, where they're going to be going to, like, planet-wise. Because the one thing that they sold this movie on when it comes to recruiting all the Looney Tunes back together to be this Toon Squad again is they got to go from different, planets, different Warner Brother, related planets, that are based on certain worlds or franchises like The Matrix, Game of Thrones, Casablanca, Maltese Falcon, Wizard of Oz, DC, whatever else they have, if you will. I don't think Harry Potter, but still, all these elements, if you will. I think the Hanna-Barbera world as well, like Bedrock and Jellystone and all that. So, they got all this, they got all these planets they got to go to find and recruit and bring the teams back together. We don't know exactly what happened, though, that caused them to separate. We don't know if maybe they decided to go off on their own and explore their own, adventures and everything. Like I said, discover some new paths to go down and see what else they could do besides just be Looney Tunes. So I don't know. Again, we're not totally sure exactly how they went all to these destinations. Hopefully we'll find out more, maybe in more clips and all that down the line. But yeah, we get more what the planets are there and everything. So overall, they give us a lot more they give us a little bit more, like I said, storyline-wise, plot-wise, than the last one. We do see some other Easter eggs in there. We do see Iron Giant pumping fist with King Kong. We do see that big rock dude from the Herculoids, in the background. We do see a Jabberjaw in the background in one of these scenes. We still see the mask. We still see Mr. Freeze. We still see all the Easter eggs of characters that showed up, that was seen and shown up in the first trailer. We see a little bit of that here. So that's good. So that's pretty good as well. But also what I'm getting a vibe here from is that that the game itself is going to be a long game. It's like it's going to stretch a lot longer than, let's say, than the game that Michael Jordan was in the first one. So it's going to be a long. So obviously, it looks like they're setting it up to be a long game, if you will. We do get a better look at the Goon Squad. In fact, we have the Snake Girl who's being portrayed by, I don't know who it is, but by one of the WNBA players. You know, she looks at the camera and goes like, "What's up?" You know, it's like, you know, so we get more looks at them and everything. So that's kind of cool. But overall, like I said, they gave us a lot more, basically what I'm trying to say is they gave us a lot more detail in story as to what exactly is going to be on the line here, if you will. And it looks like the wife, I don't know why, but she may play an integral part. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got a feeling she might end up in the game herself. You know, she's determined for LeBron to save the family and all that, to save the son. I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to get involved. Like I said, they got this big barrier that's blocking her from getting in there, but I would not be surprised if she does find a way in and becomes part of the team. So who knows? That might be something, you know, that occurs, but we may not see that. But it may. Who knows? But we may see it. Who knows? Was what I'm trying to say. The other thing I did notice here is, you know, as well as Daffy being Daffy, you know, Daffy trying to take, like when they get all back together, get ready to train, Daffy's like, "I'll take it from here. I'll be in charge." You know, and then we get that scene where he tells Sam to shoot the ball, and Sam basically shoots and deflates the basketball, but also blasts Daffy's beak in the back of him full of holes. But then throughout it, we also see Daffy being like, he's looking at LeBron saying, if I was a betting man or something like that, he said, I'd be choosing the other team, and everything. I think he said something along the lines that he says he's not a betting man, but he chooses the other team or something like that. And then, of course, when basically it's announced officially that, LeBron's going to be fighting for his son and all that. And, Daffy is all smug and like, oh, well, we got nothing to worry about. And, of course, in typical Looney Tune fashion, the moment he says, oh, we got nothing to worry about. Well, cool, we're fine. That's when Cheeto drops the bombshell. And, oh, by the way, you lose, they get deleted. So that's kind of so that's kind of funny there, because it's like it snaps, Daffy out of his smugness, like, what? Excuse me? Like, what did he just say? So to me it looks like it's gonna be a fun movie. And again, like I said, Daffy is, still his smugness. I mean, when they get transitioned into 3D, real 3D, into like real life 3D, he looks at himself, goes like, ooh, I'm expensive. So yeah, I have a feeling, I don't know why, but just by what they showed us, and probably I'm wrong, but just by what they showed us, I would not be surprised if Daffy starts considering maybe turning his back on the team, even at the expense of their existence, because maybe he'll be like, hey, I'd rather be erased instead of always being, second banana to you, like to Bugs. Like, he'll tell Bugs, hey, I don't want to be deleted any more than you do, but I'm sick and tired of being second banana to you. So if you want me to be on that court to help us win, I want to be the top banana. Or I'm not saying they would do that, but it seems like they're kind of hinting maybe that he might show a little bit of cowardness, like he might consider sneaking off and, betraying them or something, who knows, just to save his own hide, because that's how his character is. I mean, in the first one, when they were basically laughing off the numbnucks' attempt to take them prisoner, and you see Sam going up there with his guns telling the lead numbnuck, we ain't going nowhere, and then that numbnuck, just zaps him like that, zaps him like that, and he's like, dee, dee. You see the result. All the characters, all the Looney Tunes, they put up their hands like this, and then Daffy, not only he's in the aisleway, not only does he put his hands up, but he gets down on his knees like he's begging. He's getting ready to beg for his existence. So I'm not going to say there's any chance that's going to happen, but I would not be surprised if maybe they throw something like that in there. I mean, we saw what he did when he got the ball in the first movie. He tossed it right to Granny, and, you know, Lola's reaction to him was like, you know, chauvinistic, you know, jerk, or self-centered chauvinistic jerk. And Daffy's trying to play it off like, she was wide open! So I'm not saying that, you know, maybe we're going to see that, but just the way they were playing them off here, it might be something to look out for, perhaps. It may not play a major role, but it might be something. So we'll see what occurs. But overall, besides that, like I said, this trailer is mostly focused on giving us more background, more detail on the story, on the plot, and what's going to be involved, what's going to be at stake. So, and it definitely looks like they did give away the ending of the fact that the Toon Squad is going to win. But we'll see if that, what they gave to us here in this trailer, is that exact ending, or if it's something different. So we'll see what happens. You know, you did have some typical Looney Tunes moments in there, like with Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner doing his thing with the basketball, Wile E. Coyote unveiling a multiplier-like invention, which not only multiplies the basketball, but multiplies him, and allows him to shoot numerous baskets, if you will, along with the numerous clones of him. And then and what's interesting about this too is, unlike the last one, you know, because we had like PA announcers, we had those two mice doing the PA announcing. Here we're gonna have actual commentators, and I think they might be I think one of them is I don't know what their names are. I think one of them is Marv Albert. I think one of them, maybe, I'm not really sure, but they are going to have play-by-play announcers for this game. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what the play-by-play commentary is going to be like, how the Looney Tunes are going to interact with them a little bit, how the Don Cheadle character is going to act with them, kind of, you know, sit in with the commentary, whatever. We'll see what happens. But overall, like I said, this story was more, you know, more storyline driven, even, and kind of give us an idea of what we're going to get, you know, what the movie's going to be about, what's at stake, not just for LeBron, but for the Tunes. And overall, I can't wait. I cannot wait till next month to see it. It comes out 9 days before my birthday. I have basically the opportunity to see it here, you know, here at home on HBO Max, or even going to the theaters to see it. More than likely, we'll be here, but maybe I'll see it both ways. Who knows? But anyway, though, again, it looks good to me, and I can't wait to see it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the second Space Jam New Legacy trailer. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about it? Do you agree with anything I had to say here about, you know, what could potentially happen and all that? What are your thoughts on the story? What are your thoughts on the fact that they kind of spoiled some of the outcome, if you will? How do you feel about all that? And yeah, do you think the Davia, I think that's her name, I do apologize for pronouncing it wrong, but you think Zadavia, I think that's how it's pronounced, did a good job as Lola? What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the live chat, and I will talk to y'all later.